Okay, so we're marching ever so closer to Hell in a Cell, and I have to first begin by saying this. I really do get tired whenever somebody sneaks into a room. I'm specifically talking about Randy Orton sneaking into the trainer's room after Brie Bella got injured. And he opens the door really slowly. He backwards sneaks into the room. And you can tell the Bellas are looking at him. He then shuts the door. Then the Bellas scream. That you saw him get into the room. You had to see him in the room. From the camera angle from the door, they're looking at him. It's goofy, it seems stupid, and it's always horrible whenever they do it. So we'll go right through what we had this night on Raw. We begin with Shawn Michaels coming down. Shawn Michaels, guest referee, Hell in a Cell in 2 weeks. Yes, we're going to have like 3 pay-per-views in less than 2 months. And then they wonder why their ratings are down. Good job, came out, hyped the match. Had a little bit of a moment with Randy Orton. Alright, that's fine. Orton then gets jumped by The Miz. Why? Because they're in St. Louis. The Miz got the crap beat out of him when they were in Cleveland, so it makes sense that The Miz is going to try to get his just desserts. Doesn't quite happen. Decent match, nice back and forth. The Wyatt family comes down, distracts The Miz. Miz gets laid out RKO. Wyatt does a fantastic promo discussing fame and things of that nature, and what is The Miz really truly wants and really truly deserves. Very, very well done promo. I will say this. Wyatt does great promos. He's still trying to figure out what he's doing in the ring, with the exception of the backwards crab walk that he did against Kofi Kingston. But he's getting there. He's getting there. Los Matadores took on their arch nemesis, 3MB, and got the victory, because that's what they do. Then El Torito did his stuff. The most over portion of their group, of course, is their dwarf mascot. The Real Americans took on Tons of Funk, and they were victorious. It does seem like the Real Americans are on a crash course for Los Matadores. I think it only makes sense that in order to really push the Cesaro swing to a whole nother level, so one thing they can do, he has to get both members of Los Matadores, or this time it'll be Dos Matadores, into the Cesaro swing. If he can do that, that's what'll make it. That's like a Mania moment. That's a pay-per-view style moment right there. Fandango took on Santino. Fandango won. It's just kind of like a random match to throw in there. They did a beat the clock challenge to decide the stipulation for the CM Punk match at Hell in a Cell. Ryback took on R-Truth. And in about 4 minutes and 42 seconds, something like that, Ryback was able to defeat R-Truth. R-Truth pretty much just ran a marathon around the ring to keep the match going. Good job, worked well. R-Truth is a solid worker. CM Punk took on Curtis Axel and beat him with 10 seconds to spare. This is the 3rd time he's defeated Curtis Axel. Ironically, he's not IC champ, and he hasn't fought him for the IC belt. So, at Hell in a Cell, CM Punk is going to take on Ryback and Paul Heyman in a 2-on-1 handicap match inside of Hell in a Cell. Last year, of course, CM Punk took on Ryback in Hell in a Cell, and that's when Brad Maddox got involved. So it's the same match we saw at Night of Champions, just now they've thrown in Ryback. Okay, could be a decent match. Good work. Alberto Del Rio took on Daniel Bryan. Nice match. Decent amount of back and forth to it. It worked pretty well. That was also, of course, when Randy Orton went to go attack the Bella. Match ends by a countout because Daniel Bryan decided to go try to save Brie Bella. Brie Bella, of course, was injured after her match with Tamina Snuka, which she lost handily to Tamina. It's weird. Tamina now all of a sudden is in that bizarre female heel power role, which seems weird because when AJ was a face, Tamina worked for Vicky to beat up on AJ. So, not bad. Probably a way for AJ to kind of work through her concussion. Then a decent segment discussing John Cena's road to rehab for his super fast return to comeback. Ring action in Hell in a Cell taking on Alberto Del Rio. So I guess he will get to become another World Heavyweight Champion. Just kind of a downer. And now on to your main event. Did I really miss anything? Not really. Your main event match. The Shield, which was Rollins and Reigns, taking on the Rhodes Dynasty. No disqualification match with the tag belts on the line. Their match at Battleground was fantastic. This match, since there's no DQ, you had all three members of the Shield. You had chair shots. You had a turnbuckle powerbomb on the outside to the not to the apron, to the barricade. You had Roman Reigns take Goldust and spear him through the barricade to the timekeeper's table. You had the Big Show come down and lay out everybody with just knockout shots one after another. The ending sequence you actually have to watch. You see Roman Reigns is looking at Big Show. Cody comes from behind to do the beautiful disaster. Roman Reigns ducks, moves close enough to take the shot from the Big Show, and he gets pinned. 1, 2, 3 for your new tag team champions, the Rhodes Dynasty. Beautiful way to cap off that evening. Ratings will probably again still be down, even though they're putting out a superiorly better TV show now than they were with John Cena on it. The problem is they've pretty much ruined 2 pay-per-views.